Hey, what's up guys? Can you believe we have less than 1 month to go until the release of the new iPhones? Of course, there will be new iPads, the AirPower wireless charging mat, which we have more info on in this video, the AirPods wireless charging case, new computers. There's going to be a host of new products, and of course, iOS 12 will release just then. So it's a very exciting month to look forward to. And in this video, I've got even more details, more leaks on these upcoming iPhones. Today, we've got a very exciting update regarding the new iPhones and possible Apple Pencil compatibility. But before I get into that, just wanted to show you this. So Pitaka, this is my favorite case maker for the iPhone 10 right now, and they sent me these videos of more hands-on with the models, which I did already show you. But what interests me is the cases. They've already made cases for these unreleased iPhones. I mean, without a doubt, we already know the entire product line Apple's releasing this year, and all the confidence from these case manufacturers that are developing cases already just go further to support this. So let's get into that report. I want to start it off by saying the new iPhones are going to be a ridiculously good value. There's a new report by an analyst group, TrendForce, that detailed the prices of the new iPhones and all of their specs and features, and this is just a month within release. So the starting price on the 6.1-inch model, and by the way, they say a 6.06-inch model, so I'm curious to see what Apple's going to say it's actually going to be, likely rounded up to 6.1. They're saying it's going to start at that price, and that's because Apple was able to negotiate with a lot of their component makers to give them better prices on components they're recycling from last year's iPhone 10. They also did confirm all of the specs on this device. They said it will have 3 gigabytes of RAM, an LCD display with Face ID technology, and 64 and 256 gigabyte storage options. And they're saying that the 6.1-inch will be the most successful, with half of the sales going to that device. So where it gets interesting is the 5.8-inch and the 6.5-inch, the OLED models, will be getting a 512 gigabyte option. Just why do you need that much storage? I made a video about a mod for 512 gigabytes on the iPhone 7 Plus. It was transplanted from an iPad, and you know, it's awesome. It's great to be able to do that, but it gets to a point where like, what can I possibly fill onto this device? How can I spend 512 gigabytes? Right now, I have about 200 gigabytes free on my 256 gigabyte iPhone 10, so yeah. Will I still be getting the 512? You know it. And I did a little estimation on the pricing. Yes, this will be the most expensive iPhone ever just because of that option, but you don't have to spend that much. They're saying that the 5.8-inch model will start at $899 and the iPhone 10 Plus at $999. Likely $150 to go to 256 gigabytes, and then past that, $200. On the iPads currently, to go from 256 to 512 is $200, so I expect that to remain for this year's iPhones, although Apple could drop the price if the price of memory has gone down, which it hasn't. So the most expensive iPhone you're going to be able to get is the iPhone 10 Plus, which, if my calculations are correct, will cost $1,349 in the maxed out option. And of course, then come accessories, Apple Care, and you can potentially get well into like $1,500, maybe even $1,600 just for a phone. That's a very well-built laptop nowadays, and you're spending it on your phone. And you know people are going to be paying that much regardless. And Apple has gone full Apple Newton, and they will be adding stylus support to the new iPhone. I brought this out just for a little visual. I just wanted to show you the display is actually smaller than that of the iPhone 10, and yet Apple still had a stylus on it. You know, it's kind of funny. So they could definitely do that on the new iPhone 10 and iPhone 10 Plus and make it work. So this analyst group is saying that that's exactly what Apple is trying to do. They will be adding support for the Apple Pencil this year, not next, as Ming Chi Kuo earlier did predict that in 2019 Apple would be adding that support. Now my question is, if Apple were to add support for the Apple Pencil to the iPhone, would they make a smaller Apple Pencil? I mean, look at the proportions here. They're kind of out of whack. So using this big one right here, it would be comfortable, yes, but it wouldn't be like a note stylus, say. So I'm guessing that they might make a smaller version, maybe even have like a case or a sleeve with a little pocket on the side for it. I don't know. Again, this is not confirmed entirely, but they are saying that it will be happening, and we've heard some rumors earlier about it as well, so it very well may. According to the leaker who introduced us to the 18-watt power adapter, the fast charger, probably one of the first real leaks of this year's iPhones, he actually released several new reports detailing several new features coming to this year's iPhones. First off, he said that they will all support wireless charging. And the reason this is notable is because Ming Chi Kuo earlier said that the 6.1-inch would have a metal back, and of course that wouldn't allow for wireless charging with current technology we have. So this basically confirms that all will have wireless charging, all will have a glass back as well. And the same leaker gave us an extensive update on AirPower. Starting with the release date, he says it's happening in September, so a fall release, probably with these new iPhones. And he gave us some insight on the actual design of this thing. He says it is so incredibly engineered. Inside it has 22 coils. They're all individual, they don't overlap, so you can set an Apple Watch anywhere on the actual pad and it'll start charging. And Apple has a custom built chip to control all of the power and whatnot. So really this thing's price tag, which he says is $150, almost seems justified just for how much technology you're getting. And of course it's likely to get some sort of software updates with time and the animations it brings to your device alongside it. So could be interesting. It's still a bit pricey, but the old price tag rumor, which was $200, is certainly better than that. And a prominent leaker on Twitter, Ice Universe, he leaked the Geekbench scores supposedly of the Apple A12 chip, and they are immense. So they represent about a 20% increase from the last year's Apple A11, and these are those scores. So a 4690 single core score and a 12,902 multi-core score. That is ridiculous. Now, this isn't the actual picture he leaked. He talked about it on a Weibo post. Now, earlier we did see a Geekbench for the supposedly testing Apple A12 chip, and it was a lot lower, so there wasn't as much improvement there. This is a huge uptick from that, and it's possible that at the final release we could be seeing even larger numbers. Now, the die is shrinking to 7 nanometers from the current 10 nanometers, and it's getting more efficient. It's just getting so much more powerful as well, and I did not expect that if true. And on his Twitter page, he added that the Apple A12 will equally have a very powerful GPU. So there's two things to be excited about. And with the iPhone X Plus and its larger resolution, you'll want a little bit more graphical power. So that'll be a very welcome change. And going back to the leaker of the power adapter, today released a new report regarding the AirPods wireless charging case. He says that it will support a QI certification, meaning with any charger that supports the QI standard, it will go ahead and charge. So unlike the Apple Watch 3, which had a proprietary charge technology, this one will work with any charger. And Apple continues to move towards a future where every component in their devices is engineered and built by themselves. So CNBC is reporting that they just listed several jobs regarding engineers that could develop a health-oriented chip that could process health data, make better sense of it, and actually be more efficient, likely for the upcoming Apple Watch, not this year, probably next year. So this would join Apple's custom CPUs, custom GPUs. This year they're supposedly developing a new power controller to better manage the power, and eventually they want to make their own modems. So Apple really is trying to drop all third-party support in the iPhones, and it's a really smart move on their end because they can control it so much better, the software, the hardware, the power efficiency and whatnot, and the capability of their iPhones by developing all the parts themselves. And the Korean site The Bell is saying that going into 2019, Apple will still continue to use LCD displays, likely in the 6.1-inch model, of course. So an all OLED lineup isn't coming anytime soon. LG will likely keep making this LCD display as they just weren't able to get the prices they wanted for the OLEDs in a 6.1-inch form factor. And is it possible that Apple just isn't done with Touch ID just yet? A new patent submitted by Apple shows a next-generation Touch ID technology beneath the glass. So this one uses multiple cameras to actually capture a 3D image of your thumbprint, and then of course make it a more secure way to unlock your phone and more convenient through the display. It's very possible that Apple just patented this just to have this technology, so other companies wouldn't grab it. It's not very likely that they'll use it in their iPhone since they're committing to Face ID so much, but maybe they could be reserving this for some future devices we don't even know about just yet. So that's it for the latest leaks and rumors. And guys, I just wanted to mention the giveaway is coming this weekend. So I have a lot of people asking me, did I forget? I did not. I will be giving those away. They're waiting for their new owners. I also did want to mention what happened yesterday. iOS 12 Beta 7, it released. It was great for me personally, but for many users, they were experiencing unnecessarily long load times for applications. So it'd be from 10 to 30 seconds even just to open an app. And for some users, it would go away after a restart, after turning off screen time. And for many others, it didn't. So Apple decided to just pull that update entirely. It's unknown when they're going to release it again, or if they will, or they're just going to wait until Beta 8 next week. So we'll have to see about that. But in the meantime, if you do find an IPSW online, do not update to it just to be safe. And I also wanted to show you this. This is Oppo's R17, their latest phone they just announced, and eventually what the OnePlus 6T or potentially the OnePlus 7 will look like. And it's so amazing. That notch up top is so elegant, very tiny compared to Apple's, but still houses the camera and the speaker right above it. As rumored, Apple will be doing something about that notch next year, and I cannot wait for that enough. And I thought this was kind of interesting. Ice Universe published this. So going going into 2019, this is what many overseas companies are doing with their notches, and Samsung is the one that's rumored with the Galaxy S10 to be staying pretty much where they're at. They'll be reducing them just a little bit, but they will still have a chin and a top portion. So what do you guys think? Is Samsung behind, or is that a very comfortable design that they need to stick with? All right, guys, a little less than a month to go. Unofficially, the release date of these devices will be on September 12th, of course, with iOS 12 being dropped on that day as well. That is not confirmed, but what is estimated to be the release. So stay tuned. We still might see some big leaks until then, and stay tuned for the giveaway as well.